We understand that revolutions do not deliver all their promises overnight. Building a democracy is a continuous journey. I'm Asif Mahmud, and I'm representing National Citizens Party from Bangladesh. I'm the spokesperson of the party. Before joining the party, I served as a minister of the transitional government led by Dr. Muhammad Yunus, and I was in charge of local government division at the time. So today our discussion is based on building inclusive and sustainable cities in Asia-Pacific region, and I'll discuss about rebuilding democracy after authoritarianism in Bangladesh, a long authoritarianism. So how was the process? What is the experience of Bangladesh improving, developing our human rights situation, and where we are standing now? It's important to know and discuss. So before speaking about my country, I would like to pay my deepest respect to the spirit of the May 18 Gwangju uprising, a movement that laid the foundation of democracy in South Korea. As I walked through the May 18 archives and the National Cemetery during the Human Rights Tour organized by this forum, I felt an overwhelming sense of familiarity. It reminded me deeply of our own July uprising of 2024 in Bangladesh, a mass uprising in which around 1,400 people lost their lives, demanding dignity, justice, and democratic rights. On the 5th of August 2024, Sheikh Hasina fled the country in the face of that resistance, and we formed a transitional government under Nobel Peace Laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus. Although the uprising began around a quota issue in government employment, it quickly became a collective demand for rebuilding the state itself. People wanted institutions they could trust, people wanted justice, people wanted democracy, and genuinely belonged to citizens. As a transitional government, we moved immediately on several fronts. On accountability and human rights, we initiated legal process regarding the killings during the uprising, established a fact-finding commission on enforced disappearance, which revealed that more than 4,000 people had been victims over the years, and signed the International Convention for the protection of all persons from enforced disappearance. We also allowed the Office of UN High Commissioner for Human Rights to establish a mission in Bangladesh after years of restriction. On urban governance and city services, we introduced one-stop service centers where citizens could access multiple local government services from a single point, reducing bureaucratic barriers and improving accessibility for ordinary people. On youth and civic participation, many students who had led the uprising became directly involved in urban initiatives. For example, students were engaged in traffic management efforts in Dhaka, contributing to public discipline and awareness while also gaining part-time employment opportunities. We also emphasized gather youth participation in urban governance and policy discussions. On inclusion and dignity for marginalized communities, housing initiatives were introduced for waste collectors and sanitation workers, whose contribution to city life is often invisible. Efforts are also made to strengthen urban healthcare centers and improve access to basic health services for people in densely populated communities. On environmental sustainability, the government imposed restrictions on polythene bags and banned single-use plastics in government offices as part of broader efforts towards more sustainable urban practices. At the institutional level, we formed a local government reform commission which prepared detailed recommendations aimed at strengthening accountability, decentralization, and citizen participation in local governance. We understand that revolutions do not deliver all their promises overnight. Building a democracy is a continuous journey, but something irreversible has already happened in Bangladesh. An entire generation has become politically awakened, and we formed a political party led by the young people and a policy-driven political party in Bangladesh. In that journey, we seek solidarity from democracy-loving people and institutions around the world, from UNESCO to civil society networks to cities like Gwangju that carry the living memory of democratic resistance. When ordinary people unite for dignity and justice, even the strongest authoritarian structures can fall. So the story of Gwangju proved that, and the story of Bangladesh is now trying to prove it too. Thank you very much.